Hey, it's Dr. Riz. Welcome to On My Watch, where we break down healthcare so it finally makes sense. Ever tried to figure out your health insurance and felt like you were solving a Rubik's Cube blindfolded? Well, you're not alone. So today, it's the ultimate showdown, HMO versus PPO. I'll break down what really matters: cost, convenience, and that all important freedom to choose your doctor. Stick around because by the end, you'll finally know which one actually fits your life. This video is intended for informational purposes only. All right, here's the game plan for today's episode. First up, we'll break down the most common plan types like HMO, PPO, and POS, and what makes each of them tick. Next, I'll walk you through real life examples so you can picture what it's like to use each plan, from referrals to seeing specialists. So I'm a visual person, and most people are. So it makes things a lot more clear when you add visuals, right? And then we'll compare costs because it's not just about access, it's about how premiums, deductibles, and copays really add up. After that, I'll help you figure out which plan might be your perfect match, whether it's through Medicare or your employer. Then we'll hit the key takeaways so you leave with a clear plan for making smarter healthcare choices. And finally, I'll show you how to catch more episodes and join the conversation. Because here's the goal, right? Better info, better care, and a little peace of mind along the way. All right, let's kick things off with HMOs. You'll find these in both Medicare Advantage and employer-based health plans. With an HMO, you'll choose a primary care physician or a PCP who's your main point of contact. They coordinate your care and refer you to a specialist, usually, right, within the plan's network. The good news is premiums and out of pocket costs are generally lower. The trade off is that you must stay within the network. And care outside the network usually isn't covered unless it's an emergency. In an HMO plan, your prescriptions are covered only if they are on the plan's approved drug list, called a formulary. So always check it to make sure your medications are included and affordable to you. Here's a great example. Let's say Jen has an HMO plan. If she wants to see a dermatologist, she first needs a referral from her primary care doctor. For example, if your dermatologist prescribed an acne medication, for instance, right, like tretinoin cream, your HMO plan will only cover if it's listed on the plan's formulary. Otherwise, you might need your doctor to request approval or switch to a covered alternative. Okay, let's talk money. The first financial piece to look at is your monthly premium, the money that comes out of your paycheck every month, regardless of whether you visit the doctor or not. With an HMO, the premium is typically lower than its more flexible cousins like PPO. Why is it good? Well, this is your steady, immediate win. Lower premiums mean less money deducted from your paycheck, giving you consistent month to month savings right from the get go. It's the cost savvy choice when you want your budget to play nice. So, next, let's talk about the deductible. This is the amount of money you have to pay out of pocket before your insurance kicks in and even begins to share the costs. A huge advantage of many HMOs is a low or sometimes even a $0 deductible. But your monthly premium may be high if you have a zero deductible. Just bear in mind. So think of the deductibles as the starting gate. With a low or zero deductible, you get your benefits right away. You don't have to worry about paying thousands of dollars upfront just to trigger your coverage. For those who need regular, ongoing care, this is a massive financial relief. When you do visit the doctor, you face the copayment, that small fixed fee you pay at the time of service. HMO copayments are typically fixed and lower for a primary care visit. So, why is it good? This is all about budgeting and likelihood. You know exactly what you're going to pay for a routine care. There are very few financial surprises, making it easy to see your doctor without fearing a fluctuating bill. The auto network trade-off is the setup though. Now, we have to address the key trade-off for these low-cost auto network care. So in almost all HMOs, if you go to a provider who is not in the plan's network, the cost is generally 100% your responsibility. Why it matters? This is the watch out clause, right? So the HMO model is built on using its specific contracted network to keep the costs down. You save most and have coverage only when you stay in network. If you have favorite doctors outside the network, the HMO may not be the right choice for you, as the financial hit can be significant. So, who is the HMO plan best for? It's for the person who values low, predictable monthly costs and is comfortable choosing a primary care physician, also known as a PCP, to manage and coordinate all their care within a specific network. If you value budgeting and stability over total provider choice, the HMO might be exactly what you need. So here is a visual example. Imagine both Sarah, who has HMO, and Mark, who has a PPO, need a specialist for a recurring back problem. So Sarah, she visits her in-network PCP for a $30 copay, gets a referral, then sees an in-network physical therapist for 10 sessions at $40 copay. So Sarah's total is around $430. Mark has a PPO. He goes directly to an out-of-network specialist. His PPO won't cover it until his $1,500 deductible is met. Mark's total is $1,500 plus before any coverage kicks in. The visual illustrates the financial difference and the key referral step for the HMO. It's a clear trade-off. Lower costs with an HMO if you follow the system, or more flexibility but potentially higher upfront costs with a PPO. So, one doc, one team, one plan. That's the HMO way. Well, tired of jumping through hoops just to see a doctor? Well, time to talk PPO. With a PPO, you're in the driver's seat. You can go to the specialist directly. No referral, no gatekeeper. Even out network doctors are fair game. But that flexibility comes at a price, right? So monthly premiums and deductibles are higher. If you're someone who travels often or has preferred doctors not in network, a PPO might make sense. In a PPO plan, you still have a formulary, a list of covered medications, but you have the freedom to fill your prescriptions at different pharmacies, even outside the network. Just know you'll likely pay a bit more for that convenience. So, for instance, Carmen travels for work and likes seeing her longtime specialist who's out of state. A PPO allows her to keep seeing that doctor even though she'll pay a bit more. So it's all about choices. Let's talk finances and PPO. So here's the deal, right? PPOs usually come with a higher monthly premium, but you're really paying for the flexibility, the freedom to see almost any doctor without a referral. The deductibles usually are higher too, sometimes a couple of $1,000s. That means you'll cover more out of pocket before your plan starts to pitch in. So instead of a flat copay, you often pay like a percentage of the bill, say 20%. It gives you options, but the cost can be less predictable. And yes, you can go to an out of network provider. That's the beauty of a PPO, but it'll cost more. Think higher deductibles, higher coinsurance, maybe up to 40%. So, what's the bottom line? If you have value, flexibility, and want to choose your own doctors, a PPO gives you that freedom. You just pay a bit more for it. So, let's say we have two individuals, Lisa and David. Lisa has a PPO and David has an HMO. So let's talk about what happens when a big procedure hits, right? Like a surgery. So let's say the surgery costs about $10,000 in network. David has an HMO plan. He pays a $500 deductible plus 10% coinsurance. That's about $950. His total cost around $1,450 when you factor everything in. Not bad for a major surgery. Now, Lisa, on the other hand, is on a PPO plan. Her deductible alone is $2,000. Her coinsurance is 20% or about $1,600. So, what's her total bill? $3,600. That's more than $2,000 extra for the same in-network procedure, just because her plan shares costs differently. So here is the takeaway from this. HMOs keep costs lower if you stay in the network. PPOs give you flexibility, but that freedom comes with a higher price tag. When it comes to healthcare, it's not just about who you can see, it's about what you pay when it matters. Understanding your plan's deductible and coinsurance can save you thousands when it's life's big procedures happening. So, what if you want some of the structure of HMO, but also a dash of the PPO freedom? Like, sort of like a hybrid, right? That's where you go to the POS plan, a hybrid that tries to give you the best of both. You have a primary care doctor, but you can choose to see an out-of-network provider, though it usually costs more. The term POS is point of service, which reflects how your costs change depending on where you get care. You're financially encouraged to stay in network and follow plan rules, like getting referrals when required. The point of service name means your cost changes based on where you choose to go to receive that care. You're always financially incentivized. Remember this, you're always financially incentivized to stay in network and follow the rules like getting a referral. POS plans are likely a healthcare smoothie. A little HMO and a little PPO. You've got your main doc calling the shots, and yes, referrals are usually on the menu. Staying in network means low copays, little to no deductible, and no paperwork. Now, going out of network, costs can go up and you handle the claims yourself. It's flexible, but your wallet likes it when you stay in the network. So let's look at a scenario here where Maria gets a referral through the POS and how the POS system works. Maria sees her PCP, $30 copay, and asks for a referral. The PCP agrees because it has to be medically necessary. So PCP visit costs $30. Specialist visit costs, since she has a referral, her plan pays a higher benefit, charging her $75 copay, a fixed amount, right? So Maria's total is $105. So scenario B is where Maria skips the referral. So Maria bypasses her PCP and goes straight to some out of network specialist or the same out of network specialist. She must first meet a separate $1,000 out of network deductible that her in network visit does not count towards. After the deductible is met, she pays 30% coinsurance on the remaining bill. So specialist visit, the first and second, she pays 100% of the bill until the $1,000 deductible is met, right? So she's just had two visits only, and she's already paid like $1,000. She pays 30% of the $500 bill or $150. So now her total is at 1150. Plus she has to file all the claims herself. The POS plan is a clear message. We will give you the option for freedom, but if you want the affordability, you must follow the steps and take the referral. It's a great option for people who want the security of low structured costs but need the safety net of out of network coverage just in case, right? So if HMO feels too strict and PPO too pricey, then POS hits the sweet spot. As we wrap up today's session on health plan basics, I want to leave you with three simple vital takeaways. Consider these as the key moves to make before finalizing your health plan. First, network is king. If you have a favorite doctor or specialist, you must check if they are in network for the plan you're considering. An HMO locks in, a PPO gives you flexibility, but comes with a higher price tag for out network care. Second, know your limits. Understand the difference between the deductible, what you pay before the plan helps, and the maximum out of pocket, the absolute most you will pay in a year. That maximum is your financial safety net. Third, don't guess, use the tools. Every health plan has a summary of benefits and coverage, right? So use it. Don't just look at the premiums, review the coverage. Get with somebody who can walk you through it. Use your employer's or marketplace's online tools to compare the total estimated annual cost, not just the monthly bill. Choosing a health plan may feel like a brain surgery, but it's really just careful risk management. The best plan is the one that minimizes your financial surprise while maximizing your access to the care you need. So here's your prescription. Don't just auto renew your plan. Take 30 minutes during the open enrollment period to actively compare your options, right? Your wallet and your future health will thank you for it. And finally, if this episode helped clarify health insurance for you, please take a moment to like this episode and subscribe to my channel for more insights. Got a question that's been bugging you? Drop it in the comments. It might just become an episode. Useful links are included below. Next episode, we're diving into deductibles, copays, out of pocket costs, and maybe another surprise. Because nobody likes a bill shock. I don't. I am Dr. Riz. Thanks for tuning in on my watch. Catch you in the next one. Until next time, stay informed and stay out of trouble.